Hey everyone, today I'm going to do an ultra quick video just taking a look at the upgrade kit for Wallenstein. So I'm going to assume that you know how to play Wallenstein, and I'm not going to touch on the gameplay whatsoever. So I think it was a couple of years ago now, Wallenstein was kind of reprinted via a Kickstarter campaign, and one of the options was to tag on some upgrades for the actual the core experience. So I'm just going to talk about whether these upgrades were worth it and whether they are actually improvements. So start off, you're going to get an upgraded bunch of coins, and these ones being metal coins in the 3 different denominations. So you've got the single coins here, the 2-point coins, and the big gold ones here. Now, I will say I'm not a massive sucker for metal coins in general. You know, I'm normally pass on them, but these I think are very nice. They got a nice heft to them, and they are nicer to play with than these just standard card ones. Not that there's anything wrong with these. Now, I do think that sometimes the printing on these, or the way they've been stamped, isn't the most details, but generally I'm happy with them. They look good, they feel good, and they're of a nice size. So I think this is a nice improvement. Also, the buildings from the base games, they normally look like this. You're just these very small little cardboard tiles. They've all been improved into these buildings. So you've got the kind of mid-sized buildings here. You've got these churches, which would normally look like these little tokens, and they are now these little plastic buildings. And you've also got the little townhouses here, which again normally would be these little tokens, and now they are these little tiny houses. These are a little bit too small, if I'm honest, but they still are quite a big improvement on the standard cardboard tiles. I think this is kind of one of the biggest letdowns from the actual components from Wallenstein, is the way that these buildings actually looked and the way they handled, because they are very kind of thin, poor quality cardboard. The buildings not only do improve that on the actual quality, but they will actually, in my opinion, increase the experience of the gameplay quite a lot, because it makes the table presence look more impressive. And also you can look at a glance to see where you've got buildings, rather than just like having a look at these flat tiles which look a bit boring, and again they're just too small. So I think these are a really nice addition to the game, and I think, you know, spoiler alert, I think these are the best part of the upgrade kit. Additionally, all the wooden cubes, which would normally represent all your kind of army forces and things, they've been replaced with these meeples, and these are ultra small meeples, which, you know, understandably so, because these will go into a kind of like a cube tower, which will determine the victor of battles. I've not played with these actual components yet, so I'm quite interested to see how they would interact with the cube tower itself. You know, do they work better than the cubes, or do they not? Because obviously they don't have the flat edges that the cubes do in order to get stuck into that tower. So it'd be interesting to see how that plays out. I'm quite confident that they will work out just the same, really, but they're fine. I've got no issue with them at all. And again, I'm just kind of interested to see how it affects gameplay, but I think that's kind of a sideward step rather than an improvement. But I suppose for thematic sense, you'd rather have a bunch of guys fighting each other than a bunch of cubes. Additionally, these bonus tiles have been replaced from cardboard to these kind of like Perspex plastic tiles. Now, these feel nice, and they do look quite slick and shiny. However, they don't pop quite as much as the original cardboard ones, which you can see here. They're nice and bright and vibrant. Now, these ones are, again, they're nicer to pick up and things. Not like these are terrible. And they do look a bit nicer and a bit more high quality, but again, another sidestep. I think it's not really improving on the gameplay experience at all. But yeah, and you've got all the different versions there, and they do come with this kind of plastic film on them that you can take off to make them look more like this. And that's obviously just there to protect it during transport. But again, another sidestep there for the bonus tiles. Additionally, you've got more of this Perspex stuff here. These are new components that aren't in the base game. These are simply player markers, just to show who's what colour. And I will say I think these are completely superfluous. They're not really necessary for the game at all, hence why the base game didn't even have them in. But again, they look reasonably cool, but they don't fit together terribly well. Like these bits here just kind of slide off. So you can potentially lose some of the parts of these, and again, I don't think I've really ever used them, so I think these are just a bit tacked on and probably just used to ramp up the price a bit. So yeah, I think they're a bit of a dud, really. Additionally, you've got more plastic in terms of the kind of score counter, the grain counter and stuff, replaced from these wooden pieces to, again, more plastic pieces. And I think this is actually a downgrade. I think the actual original wooden pieces look better than the plastic ones do. You know, they pop a lot more. These ones They don't stand out in terms of your colour, popping instantly like these ones do. And these are slightly bigger and better to handle as well. So I think I'd actually stick with the wooden components here because they actually feel better than the upgrades do. And finally, the last piece that are upgraded are the Revolt Tokens here. So the Revolt Tokens are normally just a standard cardboard punch board, and it's been upgraded to this kind of like Bakelite plastic. I think these would have been better if they were slightly bigger, because again, you see the footprint of these tiles are actually smaller than the originals. I don't think this is actually a bad thing. I think these are quite nice. They're easier to pick up and things, and they mean that you can put them in the regions without being so congested. So I think these are a slight improvement on the original cardboard ones, but again, not massive there. And that's pretty much everything that you're going to get in this upgrade kit. I'm happy with some of it, particularly the buildings. I think these will massively enhance the gameplay and can make the game come alive a bit more. The coins are really nice, but the rest of it is kind of a sideways step or even a downwards one. So that's it really. So that's all that I wanted to cover really. I know Wallenstein isn't really in the spotlight anymore. Not many people are talking about this one, but just in case you were curious and were thinking about picking up a copy of this upgrade kit, then at least you know whether it's going to be worth your time or not. Thanks everyone, and I'll see you next time on Chairman of the Board. Bye.